Hello students, I'm meeting with you the classes on Zoom app, and it is a problem with virtual classes that sometimes due to the network problem the students are not able to get the points clearly. So today I took my second lecture on the dark codes no terrors. And I found that there was some network issue due to which some students could not connect themselves. So, and that is why I planned to record my lecture and upload it on YouTube. One lecture had already been uploaded on YouTube. So this is the second lecture in continuation of that. Now in The Dark Hole No Terrors, one of the significant novels of Shashidesh Pande, you see what happens in the novels of Shashidesh Pande. As I told you in my introductory lecture that her novels are women-centered. Women are the central characters. And if you find the development of the characters of the novels of Shashidesh Pande, then you will find out that they're not simply victims of circumstances, of family, of society. What happens that over the decades, you find a kind of change in the characters, that they emerge as self-assured, self-empowered, and articulate personalities. They leave behind limits and limitations, and they try to cross the barriers and the conventional norms. That is the picture which you find in the novels of Shashidesh Pande is the picture of a new woman, a woman who is reacting against the patriarchal system. Now, when you talk about the important themes of the novels of Shashidesh Pande, then you find out that she tries to depict the anguish and conflict of the modern, educated Indian woman caught between patriarchy and tradition on the one hand, and self-expression, individuality and independence for women on the other hand. So that is the character which you find in her novels. There is, they are tossing between two worlds. One world is the world of patriarchy and tradition and convention, and the other is the world of self-expression, individuality, independence, and liberty. Now, her fiction explores the search of the women to fulfill themselves as a human being, independent of a traditional role as a wife, a daughter, and mother. Now, if you read her novels, as I have already explained some of the novels of Shashidesh Pande in my introductory lecture, if you find some characters of her novels like Indu of Roots and Shadows, Saru or Sarita of the Dark Hole No Terrors, Jaya of the Long Silence, Urmila of the Binding Wine, Sumi of A Matter of Time, they are shown in a state of confusion at the beginning. Slowly, as the novel unfolds, they go through a process of self-introspection, self-analysis, and self-realization. So it's a kind of journey, actually. Journey from the life of submissiveness to the life of independence. At the end, they emerge as a confident women, more in control of themselves, and significantly more hopeful towards a bright and positive future. Now, the first novel which is prescribed in the course, which I'm going to discuss in quite detail, just after that. This novel explains the role of the patriarchy in the society, and how patriarchy decides each and everything of which happens in the life of a woman. It also describes the predicament of a career woman. which is, I think, a new phenomena in Indian English fiction. Now, Roots and Shadows similarly describes the patriarchal system of the society. Now, what happens in a very important novel of Shashidesh Pande, for which she received the Sahitya Academy Award. In this novel, she discusses the theme of alienation, isolation, and also a kind of revolt to break up the long silence, the revolt against the patriarchal system. Now, in this novel, you will find out that the central character recalls her married life with nostalgia. In the end, she gives us the new image of an Indian woman who tries to assert her individuality and seeks to break the age-old silence by refusing to dance to the tune of the husband. And in this simple story, there lies the grand swell of frustration. A loveless, married life is compared with the help of a beautiful image. When Jaya says, there is a line in the novel, a pair of bullocks yoked together, but the reality was only this. We were only two persons, a man, a woman. Now, when you read this novel, you also find out that there is the theme of existentialism, which is also, explained by the novelist, and this theme is found in other novels also. Now, in this novel, the central character says that Jaya concludes that nothing between us, nothing between me and Mohan either. We lived together, but there had been only emptiness between us. So we have all such kind of themes in that long silence. Apart from these themes, we have again the theme of marriage, sex, extramarital relation in some novels, theme of violence and death, theme of fragmentation, reconciliation, revolt, silence, self-belief, self-confidence. So all these are the themes which are there in the novels. Now, this novel, The Dark Horse No Terrors, which is there in your course, is, you'll find out the central character who is depicted as a new woman in the novel. And it's a story of, this novel was published in 1980, and this is a story of a girl child named Saru or Sarita, who falls the victim of her mother's sexist and gender-based biases. And this, sexist and gender-based biased approach leaves an indelible impression upon the mind of the character, and she becomes claustrophobic. Now, if you buy this novel, you'll find out at the back page of this novel there is, "Why are you still alive? Why didn't you die?" This is actually a statement of the mother for her daughter, because mother had sexist and gender-based biases, very cruel towards her daughter. Now, every time, she was being scolded by her mother. So the tantrums of the mother, developed in the daughter the psychological, fear. And I just told you that she becomes claustrophobic because of these tantrums. She was repeatedly, scolded and suggested and stopped by, her mother. Throughout the life, she's making the desperate attempt to overcome the initial victimization and assert her identity as an autonomous individual uh, in life. When you find out, when you read the novels of Shashidesh Pande, you find out all such kind of themes, as I told just now told you. Now you see, the novels beginning from the Dark or No Terrors, and if you come to the latest novel, especially Moving On, which was published in 2004, you have you find out that the central character, who is generally the narrator, and the novelist tries to adopt the stream of consciousness technique. You see, you have Saru in The Dark or No Terrors, which was published in 1980. Then you have Indu in Roots and Shadows, a novel which was published in 1983. You have Jaya of That Long Silence, which was published in 1988. You have Urmi of The Binding Wine, which was published in 1993. You have Sumi of A Matter of Time, which was published in 1996. You have Madhu of Small Remedies, which was published in 2000. And you have Manjari of The Moving On, which was published in 2004. Now, the novelist is trying to depict the meaning of being a woman in modern India. Now, this is the point which you must remember, that in all these novels, she is trying to depict the meaning of being a woman in modern India. You see, the women who have so far been oppressed and suppressed by the society, they were silent, but this silence cannot be maintained for a very long time. It is there in the novel, That Long Silence. This silence will erupt in the form of the volcano and destroy, dismantle the patriarchal system. So in the novel, The Dark or No Terrors, the novelist is trying to depict the picture of a new woman, a woman actually who is crossing the barrier, crossing the conventional norms, and trying to establish herself as an individual. Now, this novel adopts the cinematic technique of flashback and flash forward. In one of the interviews, which was published in the Hindu on September 5, 2004, Shashidesh Pande spoke on time as one of the important devices used in stream of consciousness technique, and for her, time is very important. I would like to select few lines from her interview, which was given by her in the year 2004. Now, about the time, she says that how can we divide human life into segments like past, present, and future? And she says that it's quite difficult to separate past from the present or present from the future. That past, present, and future are interrelated. So when this novel opens, when you read the novel, when the novel opens, we find Saru, that is Sarita, the central character of the novel. She comes back to her parental home. Now, when she enters home, flashback begins. Now, she goes into the past. The true substance of the novel lies in the mental process that Saru goes through during her apparently eventless existence at the father's place. When you read the novel, you'll find out that she was not given any kind of importance in the house because she was a girl child. So when she enters the house and she recalls the memories from the past, and she finds, oh, my life was eventless. I was mistreated by my parents, especially by my mother. She analyzes each and everything which happened in her life. She introspects. She judges life, relationships, uh, you know, when she unweaves her mind, we find the story that what happened with her life. So we move with that process when she's trying to recollect the memory from the past, and we collect the story. Now this novel, to a certain extent, this novel resembles one of the important novels, Canadian text, that is Surfacing by Margaret Atwood. The same thing happens because the central character of that novel, central character who is anonymous, a female protagonist who has no identity, no name actually. She was anonymous, and she was cheated by one male person who was married, and actually she became pregnant, and ultimately she was suggested by him to get her pregnancy terminated. She got aborted, and then later on the entire story started surfacing, in her mind. So we have more or less the same kind of thing in the novel when the past stories are surfacing in her mind. Now in this novel we have not only the callous or the cruel mother, we have indifferent father, we have sadist husband, we have womanizing professors, we have lecherous, sex hunting colleagues. She is the victim of all, these circumstances. She has to face her, callous mother, indifferent father, sadist husband, lecherous, colleagues. And how does she emerge? Actually, this we come to know when she is unweaving her mind. So I'll continue with the development of the plot in my next lecture. Thank you very much.